You awake slightly before dawn, the fishing vessel gently rocking on the waves. The other crew members shift in their beds, and you silently make your way to the deck. It's a warm morning in August, but the cold, dark waters of the Atlantic froth beneath you. As your eyes rest on the black water, wondering what may lurk below, you wait for the sun to rise. Suddenly, a grinding rips out from the bottom of the boat. The other crewmen jolt awake and dash to the deck. A loud grind from the side of the boat. The vessel tilts as it's slashed across the hull. The waves grow louder and more intense. Black shapes move and pulse across the water's edge. Suddenly, the sun crests over the horizon, and all is quiet. As the crew preps the ship to return to port, you peer into the abyss, and the Serpent stares back. You have witnessed the Gloucester Sea Serpent. Okay. I went too long, though.
Oh, it's okay. I'll fix it. I'll fix it in post.
Welcome to Ghost Spinkers, everybody.
That was good.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You like my welcome.
One take.
You like my loud welcome. One take. Famously one take.
One
Killian's
take,
what they
first
call me.
try.
Everybody knows the rules.
Yeah. Look, I think if you get less than 10% into the first take, it doesn't count as a take.
Yeah.
Then it was like, you might have not hit record on the thing or something. Welcome to Ghost Spinkers again. I'm reiterating it. Hello to our junior and our senior binkers especially.
Hello.
Don't much care for the junior binkers. Love the senior binkers. They're the real ones. I am Killian. Ghosts are stupid. Cryptids, real, impactful, affecting my day-to-day life. And I'm with Trevor.
Hello, I'm Trevor. Not Trev today. I think cryptids are animals that people are misidentifying. And don't worry, junior binkers. Uncle Trev is here looking out for you. Big fan of the junior binkers.
Don't worry, junior binkers. You were abandoned by your leader a moment ago, but
much respect, much respect for the senior binkers, but much love for my junior binkers.
Well, together we are the Ghost Spinkers, and we explore real life spooky stories and joke the spooky credibility out of them. A light binking, so to speak.
Sorry, I was late on that.
I kept going. You can put the sound in post.
I was mid drink.
I saw you going for the drink, and I was like, he's going to catch on by the time I'm midway through, and you just didn't. Anyway, so
He's mid-drink. We're mid-bank.
That's
okay.
a great... No, he has... Someone's in drinking mode. We're in banking mode. And that voice, that murmur you heard off screen a moment ago is young Brett.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Brett.
I have multiple times on this podcast already almost said our full legal names on the microphone, which is crazy. It's like fucking up my brain.
Brett Stone.
I almost
our government names?
I almost looked in the camera and said my name is and just gave the whole fucking read my ID out to the world.
Trevor Georgeson.
I feel like you're like doing too much.
It's an interesting, interesting choice of last name.
Killian Shillelagh.
Okay. Well, that's
Getting
racist.
a little racially insensitive. How are you all doing today? How's the world doing for the fellas?
World's doing great. A little spooked.
Haven't been affected by any cryptids today, so
Really?
yeah. Not that I know of.
Well, I think sometimes it's like barometric pressure. You don't realize it, but then you're like, oh, my knee's hurting all day. And it was actually a thunder.
And it was actually the Jersey Devil.
yeah, the Jersey Devil was untying your shoes all day.
I'm a little spooked because by the time this comes out, this is old news. But our episode we recorded with John T. Haunts came out.
Wow.
And I listened to it already. I loved it. I started it and I texted Killian and I was like, I'm scared. I'm so nervous.
Yeah.
Because I realized I hold such a tight grasp on the production of this show.
Yeah.
That
You're like a tyrant.
I'm a tyrant,
Yeah.
and nothing is released without me having my grimy little hands in it. And this was like the first time in a long time where I had to just kind of let it happen.
I think it would be.
You had to release your inhibitions.
I had to release my inhibitions.
Feel the rain on your skin. I feel like it would have been funny if she cut one of us out entirely. So it was just one of us got to be on, and then like you just like
Or
you didn't
just
hear
an
from-
AI voice over where one of you were speaking.
I don't believe in ghosts. It's me, Killian.
Second episode in a row. Marcus reference has just replaced one of us with
Do you
Marcus.
know Marcus on TikTok? He's a worm. He's a VR chat worm.
Nope.
And he talks
I don't have a
like
TikTok.
this. I know, yeah. I didn't know if it proliferated to YouTube Shorts, perhaps. He's a big worm with long, spindly arms and legs, and he goes, Robert. And then Robert goes,
Yes.
what's up, Marcus?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Marcus
yes.
and he goes, rigatoni pasta.
I saw him get scared of a cabinet today.
Yes, and that's great. There's
He
one.
said,
There's one.
I don't like this
where
cabinet. And the
there-
guy was like, why don't you like it? He goes, it is unnerving me.
Yeah, there's one where he goes, I don't like that rock. And he goes, it's pissing me off. And it's so funny. But there's the one I always think of is there's like, they're standing at the brink of a vast desert they're about to wander through. And he goes, Marcus, where are we going? And he goes, New Orleans. And then, like, just the way of saying New Orleans is burned into my brain. Anyway, so I love Marcus dearly. I think he is the best cryptid of all.
He's my favorite.
I get
cryptid.
a lot of Mervin in my feed. Have you guys gotten Mervin yet?
No.
He's like a quantum space alien that a guy like wears a VR headset, obviously, and he like does his life. And he'll just be like cooking eggs, and he'll like look up, and this like alien will just be sitting like Titanic style on his like kitchen counter. And he'll just be like, Mervin, what are you doing? And he'll be like, my quantum space computer will not allow me to answer that question. Or something like that.
I love what people are getting up to in those chats. As long as it's not grooming minors, I think whatever they're doing in there is really good.
Just real quick, bringing it back to why I even brought up Marcus.
I was going to bring it back.
Oh.
No, too late. You already started.
I was just going to say, Jaunty Haunts, we had a great time.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Courtney's great.
Wonderful.
And you should go check out her podcast.
Yeah, I think part one is about the history and stuff of vampires. We talked a little bit about that on our Mercy Brown episode, but you get a little more of that. And then
Part two is a little more unhinged.
Part two is a little kind of some nonsense. You get to learn what kind of vampire I would be if I had the choice, which if I do, you'd know because I would be sucking all your blood out soon because I would take that shit immediately. To bring it fully back, Brett.
Bring it back.
How do you feel about cryptids? Because are you ghost gnostic?
Yeah,
Ghostnik?
Energy is a thing, obviously.
Yep. I say this all the
Trev's
time.
laughing because I hate when people say this.
I say this all the time.
Do I believe that ghosts exist?
Do you believe that energy becomes like a pissed off old guy?
No,
for 100
no,
years?
no.
Do you think that energy becomes like apparently a hot woman who knocks over your cabinets?
I feel like places can have a vibe.
Okay.
And like energy can can feel different in different places.
Yeah, I feel like you're kind of like me, which is that you allow yourself to get really woo woo when you think about like 90 people together. Like, at a concert, that's a crazy vibe.
That's a lot
that's
of
kind of a
people.
ghost.
Yeah.
It's closer than we ever get to a ghost because it's like an energy. That's how I feel about the world.
Cryptids.
Like, I don't know. You hit a home run. I feel like God is moving through you. That's a crazy.
I mean,
you pipe
it
a
is
ball
crazy.
in baseball. You feel like
you
you're
get
like,
it off Paul Skeens. You're like,
oh my God. Yeah, no, someone throws a ball and you hit it, and then you don't even feel the ball. You're like, I'm a different being now.
Cryptids.
Yeah, I guess cryptids. They feel so.
They feel
So it's funny.
less believable to me than
See, that's funny.
what
So
I said.
that's what Trev said too, and I feel like a lot of like scientifically minded people are like, oh, cryptids feel more real because like it could just be an animal we didn't know about, you know?
Yeah, but
It just feels like misattributed animal.
Let me
Yes.
let me help Brett out. Do you know about the okapi?
the okapi.
The okapi.
I love
Are
a
you
good
familiar with an
okapi. Do you want me to
I
bring it
do.
up?
think so.
So they're a real animal.
They're like they
bring it
have
up
like
on
the
the screen.
long. Am I thinking of the right
You're
thing?
thinking
Like
of
the
an
long
anteater.
snout. No, they like
There you go.
they're like deer size. Okay.
Yeah, they're kind of deer. They don't have a snout.
They're
per
zebra.
se,
They're like.
but they're sort of
They're wearing zebra
Am I thinking of a
pajamas.
taper?
You're thinking of a
Yes, that is a taper.
Tapir?
Tapir?
I would say
I call it a
tapir.
tapir.
I don't have taper energy to say that. But so okapi for a while, they live in somewhere in Africa. I forget. I was going to name a country and I don't fucking know, so I'm not going to guess.
It's like a giraffe zebra
Yeah, they were
hybrid, right?
Yeah, they're wearing
when they
zebra
first heard
underwear.
about them, a bunch of like extremely racist Europeans were like, the Ugandan unicorn. As fanciful as the old Irish leprechaun. And then, like, they're very much real. And we just pretended they were a unicorn. So there are animals that people are like, that's fake. Although I will say that it looks like an animal, which is helpful.
That does
Like,
look like an animal.
Swamp Thing does not look like an animal.
No.
So, like, that's a bit more. Bigfoot doesn't look like an animal that exists anywhere.
Yeah.
No.
The Dover demon does not look like an animal.
Famously. Looks like nothing else.
Looks
on
like
on the damn
Marcus.
earth.
Yeah, I don't
Robert.
know.
Welcome to Dover,
Cryptids just
Robert.
have a way of like. I think the people that believe in cryptids,
so beautifully. Cryptids have a way of changing your mind.
they like the people that believe these cryptids exist are so dead set in them existing.
My father.
Yes, I'm thinking of Kev.
My father and the Bigfoot.
He like they just there's no reasoning to what they believe.
Yeah. No,
Like
yeah.
my knowledge of Bigfoot.
I got bad news about American politics for you.
my knowledge of Bigfoot through your father
Oh, hell yeah.
is that there's 7 of them,
One per continent,
one per continent.
including Antarctica for some reason.
They bury their young.
We think he meant dead, but yes. we did address the controversy around this.
But if there's
It did lead to my mother's one funny joke, which is with a shovel, which is a very funny thing to say in response to that.
and like
She's doing her cross stitch.
how do they
She's confounded.
How do they reproduce? Is it 7 males?
Yeah, no, it's not clear. Well, I think my dad would love
Oh, we
that,
talked about this
secretly.
on the Bigfoot
Yeah, we got
episode.
into it.
They have a gathering. They have a Bigfoot convention.
Sort of
Yeah.
juggalo, a juggalo, a Bigfoot
So at
juggalo
one point
all
throughout the
bang.
year,
Well,
all 7 of them
Hop on an airplane.
coexist in one
yeah,
place.
we're in danger of
Swim across the Atlantic Ocean.
we're in danger of rehashing the episode, but the famous Bigfoot film,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a lady Bigfoot in there.
Really?
I don't know if you knew that.
Swinging
She's got
honkers.
kind of like a pair of knockers. Yeah. So
Well, so do like most Division I football coaches. So
it's a great point. You lean in to hear Patty, and she's like, "All right, we're going 3 technique, boys. We're doing a loose 3, boys." And you're like, "Oh shit, she's coaching a D line. She's not a lady; it's a D line coach."
yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, so I agree with Brett. This is a fun dynamic. This is fun. Usually by now, Killian has already convinced our guest on whatever the take
Well,
is.
this is, sometimes our guests admit things aren't real, and it makes my job easier. But let's talk about an animal, a cryptozoological phenomenon that was definitively described as real by people sometimes.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I like it.
Are either of you familiar with the Gloucester sea serpent?
No.
Gloucester?
This is one I actually am unfamiliar with.
This is fairly local.
100%.
Gloucester, Rhode Island.
No, Gloucester, Mass.
Mass.
Yeah.
Gloucester, Mass.
So
I do
kind
have a
of-
story
that's
about
like
Gloucester,
Is that like
Mass.
very, very north of
Gloucester,
North
Mass
Boston?
is
super
like
north
right
Boston?
next to Salem.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like almost the nose of Massachusetts.
Yeah, because I know Cape Ann is the little pop that pops out up at the top of Mass. We should also give our standard Massachusetts name warning to any non-Massachusetters who listen to this podcast, which is that Gloucester is not spelled how you think it is.
I don't even know how to spell it.
Yeah, it's right there.
Gloucester, I think.
Yeah.
And so it looks like Gloucester, and it's Gloucester.
Sorry, my eyes aren't what they used
It's
to be.
interesting that you clicked on the
is
whale
Maps?
watch one.
Which one is Maps?
You don't have maps as an
isn't on
option
there,
because you clicked
put
Gloucester Whale Watch.
Why did you put whale watch?
That was
This
in
is
the
like watching my mom use her phone.
It was
What are
in
you
the
doing?
autocorrect.
It's one over to the right. Click
Yeah,
maps.
right there.
Yeah, I can't
I
see
hate
that
it.
far. I can't see that far. Yeah, so it is literally the nose of
I have like a third
Massachusetts.
of this beer left because of what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fun fact.
How you're scrolling in so far? I can't identify
Yeah, zoom
where
out,
it is.
zoom out,
Where
yeah.
is Gloucester? Point at
Zoom
it
out.
right now. Where is Massachusetts? Oh my god, it's very, very North Mass.
Yeah, it's the nose.
and it's the dangly part is the nose. Everyone else talks about the whatever.
No, that's the arm.
What-
The arm of
The
Massachusetts.
arm. It'd be the foot if any. I hate this.
The cape.
It's
So-
a fucking. There's a part of Mass that famously sticks out and swoops. That's not what Trev's talking about. He's talking about a little bump at the top.
The nose at the
north,
top.
Yeah.
North of Boston.
Yeah, that's because
North
that's
of
the
Boston.
head and the nose of Massachusetts.
South of New Hampshire.
Fun fact: Gloucester does not have public bathrooms unless you are a paying customer.
That's true of a lot of places on Earth,
Yeah, but
like
specifically
New York City and also Boston and also
specifically
every
Gloucester.
city. Okay, yeah. I guess specifically Gloucester. If you're talking about Gloucester, I also really hate saying Gloucester. I know it's how I'm pronouncing it correctly. I believe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
I
hate
think it's
it.
Gloucester.
It's Gloucester.
I hate it. It's almost as bad as Leicester.
Yeah, Leicester.
Which for the people,
Worcester.
Worcester is like at least the W is there,
Glister.
but Leicester looks like Leicester,
Yep.
like, and people,
Yeah.
and it shouldn't be pronounced like that. And so England, fuck you for what you did to our great state.
Yeah, they fucked us up.
Okay, well neither
But
of you,
no, not familiar.
neither of you
with-
know about the Gloucester sea serpent. Have either of you been to Gloucester besides Trev, who doesn't?
I
like the
have.
bathroom
Yeah, they don't
situation
have
there?
bathrooms.
No, I don't think so. I've been to Beverly, but I've never been to Gloucester.
I don't think there's a reason to go to Gloucester. But this comes from the other Cape. Can't say her name. Katya Jlaika. It's a crazy name.
Yeah, that's probably close.
It's Katja, which I
Katya.
believe is Katya.
Yep.
Jylkka, which is a tough name.
JYL.
Jilka?
Yilka, probably Yilka. Actually,
Probably
you say
Yilka,
it.
yeah.
But I'm too bad at names for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
But Katya writes for the other Cape, which is a blog about I'm assuming Cape Ann because that's what we're talking about, and we're gonna get a little backstory about this little sea serpentine.
Hell yeah.
If you all are ready,
I'm ready.
None of you. We'll get there later. Actually, never mind. So I'm gonna put a little pin in that question for the
A little bink.
little bink. Thank you. Yeah, hey, sometimes you have it ready. Turns out. I'm not doing the voice anymore because it makes my voice tired. And
Okay.
None of this is scary yet. In the summer of 1816 to 1818, many locals and tourists to the area, the Rockport, Gloucester, Cape Ann area, believed that they had seen a serpent off the shores of Gloucester and Rockport. We'll get some more testimony, but Captain Solomon III attested, "I saw a strange marine animal, and that I believe to be a serpent." That's my pirate voice.
I like that. That's
Every
fun.
sailor gets the pirate voice.
That's pretty much what
It's
all
an
sailors
authentic
sound
Massachusetts accent.
Yep.
like. A briny old voice.
Yeah, fishermen observed something unusual out in their boats. They saw a large, unknown creature, and they stood in crowds and looked at this creature. A long form cutting its way through the waters offshore with a head like a dog or a horse.
Oh,
Pretty cool, huh?
Those dogs and horses.
I was gonna say that
two
has
different shape heads.
Same head
drastically
shape.
different.
Trev, Google dog head and horse head.
Yeah,
real quick.
here I gotcha.
While you do that, I'll bring you my favorite Reddit comment of the day, which is someone shared this one of these stories on Reddit, and then DG Milo 8085 1 month ago said, "A lot of opium smoking in Massachusetts in 1817." So shout out to him. It's a great bit. So that's a dog head. So you kind of got straight on, which I think is the weirdest way to look at it.
Well, that's just what they gave me.
So
you
they're
know?
like a snout, is what they're seeing, basically, right?
Yeah,
They're just like, what if it had a snout?
yeah. What if it had a long face?
I will say that
basically?
if you said like, oh, this thing had a horse head,
Okay.
I assume you're talking about the neck into the head more than just the
Yeah,
head.
yeah, yeah.
Because the horse head is
Yeah.
just like a head.
I
Long-
guess
it's a long
so.
tube.
Again, not
All
to
snakes
not,
can have a horse head in some
Yeah.
ways, you know?
they all
not
have long.
to
Yeah.
not to bring it back to my bad eyes, but this far away, I could see someone getting confused.
Trev
with
doesn't
a
know which
dog
one's
head
which
and a
from this
horse
far
head.
away.
You fucking, the German Shepherd is like a cheat because that's got a horsey looking head. You know, it's got a pointy head.
Yeah,
But
I
like
can
a
see-
I can see
big
it.
blockhead Labrador.
When you're-
and
Well,
a
yeah,
horse
I
In
mean, it's got floppy
1816, the
ears.
only two animals you've seen are horses and dogs. I can see you being like, those are close enough.
Every animal has a dog
Yeah.
or a horse head.
Dude, is that a dog or
Those,
a horse in the
those
water?
were the two classifications of animals in 1816.
Dude, I
They were
saw-
either horses or dogs.
I saw a dog and a horse in the water, dude. What the fuck? That's a guy in Gloucester figuring it out. I'm gonna hop back over to Trev. We'll have a little fond memory here of WGBH, Arun Rath, and Jeff Belanger, who gave an interview as well about the Dover Demon. if you remember
Oh
correctly.
yeah.
So we're back to them. I'm gonna get frustrated with Jeff again later. I got frustrated in the last episode. I'm gonna get frustrated
Jeff.
again. Jeff is just he's a little Jeff's a little irreverent. Jeff likes to be a little stinker.
You're being called.
That took forever. It took you long enough where I thought there was a bomb threat being called into the podcast because of how you were moving so awkwardly and anxiously.
I was trying to find the right time to do it. I thought I did.
I'll leave a called out space next time when I call somebody out.
Okay.
These are the words of Jeff.
So they saw a long animal. Let's go back here for a second.
Yeah.
They just saw a long animal.
Yep, in the water.
In the water.
And they were like, "Wow, look at it
With
go!"
a horse
with a
or
dog
dog
or
head.
horse head.
I'm doing what's called setting the stage.
I just want.
Yeah, go. No, bring it.
How long? Was there any description of how long?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get there. But you know, sufficiently long, I'd say, longer than you'd think.
Serpent length.
Yeah.
Serpent. Well, you say that, but like
Can you give me?
there are small and long serpents.
Yeah.
Can you give me 2 paragraphs?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, we'll get there. Don't look at the screen, also. That's cheating.
I can't read. It's a
Jeff says
weird angle.
the first documented sighting that I found goes all the way back to 1638, when John Jocelyn, who's someone I've never heard of, and I assume is like an old man who died 155,000 years ago, wrote a book called On an Account of Two Voyages to New England, where he described of a sea serpent or snake that lay coiled up like a cable upon a rock at Cape Ann. He was told, "Yeah, that's not something we mess with. It's just known." I don't think this quote comes from anyone in particular. I think Jeff just says this. But the idea is that the existence of like a sea serpent around this area was like a known quantity.
Yeah.
Okay.
200 years before.
Yeah, way back then even.
Yeah.
And then Jeff goes on to say it was so regular. He says so regular. At one point, the Boston Globe posted an article saying, "We're not going to cover the sea serpent anymore. The fact that it exists is a foregone conclusion. They just were sort of tired of covering it and said, we're going to stop." I tried to look for an article that said...
Yeah, I was gonna say when
Yeah.
was the Boston Globe founded?
So it was around forever, because I did find an article from 1886 that mentions the serpent. I'm going to read a little bit from, but I couldn't find the specific like article he's talking about that said like we're done covering it. But this is from Monday, August 23rd, 1886.
Woo.
Which sounds old, but like shit was going on. Going on. Man.
We've had a lot of stories
We're
take
post
place in
Civil
the
War.
1880s.
We're post Civil War. There's like factories and shit starting
Yeah.
to pop up. But I'll read a little bit of it so we can get the sense of what's going on.
Gloucester, Mass, August 23rd. The Globe published a cut yesterday of parties looking for the sea serpent along the North Shore, and sure enough, it appeared for several Gloucester gentlemen to see. Just after 11 o'clock yesterday, forenoon of the yacht, named after Marshal Tar, sailed out of Gloucester Harbor for a trip to Magnolia.
Anyway, they go on to describe that there's a fucking sea serpent in there. That's kind of all they say. They say it's a big, long sea serpent.
Okay.
But this article mentions it as far back as 1886, which is kind of interesting, I guess. It follows them in the boat. They do give away the length, which I will say was a little over 100 feet long.
Woo.
Big boy.
That's a big
fella.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this presumably opioid addict 1886 newspaper man is to be believed. I also very quickly Googled like what was going on in history in 1886.
Yeah.
Just to find out so while this guy was writing about the fake snake in the water, the president was getting married at the White House.
Which president?
This was Grover Cleveland.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Grover Cleveland. Coca-Cola is going on sale.
Coca-Cola.
There is the Foundation of American Federation of Labor is forming. The unions are all banding together, making a federation of the Haymarket riot. A bomb is thrown into the center of a union like outpost at Chicago, and the police and unions start killing each other.
Oh, wow.
There's anti-Chinese riots in Seattle, where America's just against the idea of Chinese people existing. So all that's going on, and this guy's like, time to write about the snake, the big water.
Actually, I'm not going to say this. I normally say I don't want a pre-bink. I got a little pre-bink here.
Yeah. You think the snake is an anti-Chinese protester? Oh, you think it's a
water snake?
It's a dragon.
You think it's one of the dragons, like the big dragons they bring around for like Chinese New Year's? And they were like, it's canceled this year, and they were like, all right, throw it in the water.
That's not what I was going to say, but that's a great theory. I love that.
Yeah.
I think this is another case of people misidentifying the
Why are you
size.
guys pre-thinking so much?
That's what we do with the ghost pickers.
Shut up and shut up.
My working theory to start is long rope.
Yeah. So you're gonna like
Long rope with buoy.
Hey, you guys are gonna like when I.
Long rope with buoy.
Wait, what if it's a rope with a dog to it?
Wow, that dog is looking mighty strange. He's 100 feet long and just got a little rope behind him wiggling.
It's just swimming around.
Yeah, you're gonna like my guy from the Skeptical Inquirer later when I get there.
Cool.
Cool.
You let me know when you're getting there.
Yeah, so that was the old article, and Jeff Belanger goes on to say, by the way, this thing has been described as up to 100 feet in length and a body as wide as a barrel. So
Holy fuck.
a girthy
That's
sort
a
of fella.
thickie.
Yeah. Monster would be used, but it didn't behave or look anything different than a snake, although they claimed it had almost like a horse's head. It would rear up out of the water, and it would move in a caterpillar motion, as it was described. We also call that
What?
People are going to call it undulatory.
Oh, okay.
This
Yeah,
motion,
that
kind of
makes
up
sense.
and
Not
down.
slithering.
It's not going side to side. It's not going
Going-
circular. It's going up and down, sort of like an
As we say,
sort of like a rope in the waves.
kind of, yeah.
I was, or
Undulatory.
as we say, the vertical side to side.
Nope.
Vertical slithering.
We would say undulatory.
North-south slithering.
Yeah. So I'm going to read you some excerpts of people who saw this back in 1817, if that's okay. And these people are all very dead, very racist. So you can kind of lay into them.
Ooh, all right.
You bully them, call them stupid, make fun of them.
I love this.
It starts with the more famous accounts, and then kind of goes into like other random fucking people. This is Amos' story the name of the fucking town is so fucked up it fucked me up. Gloucester.
Yeah.
But I saw it and my brain was like, that can't be a word. So he's a mariner. He's a seaman.
I don't have a button for that.
He's a seaman from.
Wait, yes,
from
I do.
Gloucester.
Hold on.
No, you don't. You don't have a button for that.
I told you to take that one off. This is Amos' story of Gloucester. He's a mariner.
On the 10th day of August, AD 1817, I saw a strange marine animal that I believed to be a serpent at the southward and eastward edge of 10 Pound Island in the harbour of Gloucester. He continued in sight for an hour and a half. I was sitting on the shore in about 20 rods.
That's 110 yards. So
Oh, okay.
slightly larger than a football field.
From him when he was the nearest to me. His head appeared shaped much like the head of a sea turtle, and he carried his head from 10 to 12 inches above the surface of the water.
Is that good? Is that interesting to you? This sea serpent?
I was really distracted by how good that pirate voice
He
was.
moved very rapidly through the water, I should say in a mile or two at most, in 3 minutes. On this day, I did not see more than 10 or 12 feet of his body.
This guy was hauling.
Pirate!
Yeah, he's scooting. Yeah.
He moved
He's
a mile or
haul-assing.
two in 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's quite a hoof.
Yeah.
And he's undulatory.
I don't want to do math. How fast is
Undulatory.
that? A mile in 3 minutes?
Yeah.
So
Like you mean miles per hour? wise?
multiply that by
I mean,
like...
it's world record marathon pace.
That's true. That's a great point.
It's a 26
A
mile,
mile,
26 miles
yeah,
per
I'd say
hour.
A mile a minute is 60. So
Yeah,
if he's moving 1 and 3, it's like
Okay.
20-ish, some shit like that.
I guess that's not
think
super
it's-
fast
I don't
for
think
a,
Amos
a-
was-
for
I
a
don't think-
sea creature. That's not that fast.
I don't think he was timing it. I don't know how fast sea creatures go, man. If I find out that a barracuda goes 100 miles an hour, I'm done.
Sharks go very fast.
Type in
Let me-
how fast do sea creatures go, and then it's like, oh, the sea cucumber doesn't move.
I'm just
0.
I'm typing in how fast sharks swim. Oh, okay, 12 miles per hour.
Okay, so
That
twice
doesn't-
as fast
That
as a shark.
seems wrong, but
Twice
okay.
as fast as a shark.
Okay, that seems wrong. but that's
100
fine.
feet long with the whales are.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
100 feet long.
The short fin mako
how
can
lo-
reach speeds of 60 miles per
how
hour.
long?
That's
How long's
small.
how
That's
long's
a
a blue
small shark.
whale, Trev? For context,
Oh, blue whales.
the
are
largest sea boy.
like at least 100 feet, I think.
I think you guys should stop guessing and
just
type it
like-
into Google.
100 feet. and a weight of up to 200 tons.
Yeah, and also I should say significantly wider than a barrel.
Yeah.
So proportionally, that
Yeah,
mass
yeah,
has to
yeah,
expand
yeah,
for the most
yeah,
part.
yeah,
So this is more serpentine is the reasoning for it being not so long. It's very kind of skinny for how.
So
long
it's
it
as
is.
long as a blue whale, but it is
skinny.
skinny.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a hungry blue whale that
Snatched.
hasn't had
Not
enough
a sort of
krill.
girthy-
Snatched, if you will.
Yeah, not a sort of girthy fella out here.
It's a blue whale with an eating disorder.
Okay, let's look. You weren't convinced by Amos. Maybe Epps.
I think his name's probably Amos.
Amos. It is Amos for sure. Yeah. As I was saying, I was like, it's not Amos, but I can't remember how to say it properly.
We don't know. He could have been.
Amos.
He could have been Latino.
Arr.
Famous Amos.
My name is Amos. Let's do. I'm not going to try and say any of these names. Then Epps Ellery. He's also from Gloucester.
sick name.
He's a shipmaster.
Okay.
I was looking at him with a spyglass when I saw him open his mouth, and his mouth appeared like that of a serpent, and the top of his head appeared flat. His motion when he turned was quick, but I will not express an opinion of his velocity.
So he's like, I heard what Amos was saying, and
He's like,
I don't know
think
how
was
fast
going
he was
that
going.
fast.
He's like, he was quick, but...
He wasn't that quick. I know.
That fast. Okay.
I thought he was quite slow, frankly.
Wait. So is this just a completely separate sailor, or are
Separate
they
guy.
are they on the same ship?
Doesn't say, man. You think
Okay.
it's going to identify who's on what boat?
I don't
It's
know.
crazy.
I think that would make for significant theories.
These were collected
here.
after the fact, if that helps. So I don't know
Okay.
if there would have been like enough information of who's doing. I think they're just grabbing people and talking to them.
Yeah, they're pulling
Um,
people aside.
Okay, well let's do William H. Foster of Gloucester.
Oh,
He's a merchant, so he gets a different voice, I guess.
Okay.
But I don't want to do one, so it's going to be Killian.
you
voice.
could do a Khajiit voice.
Well, or I could do
What are you buying?
Oh,
On the 14th day of August.
it's also kind of the same voice again, so I'm just going to do my regular voice. I first saw an uncommon sea animal that I believed to have been a serpent in the harbor in said Gloucester. When I first discovered him, his head was above the surface of the water, perhaps 10 inches. He made his little progress through the water. Afterwards, went in different directions. Blah, 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 blah. They all say the same shit.
I love how
gonna
specific
say
they're
it's-
getting
I
about
know.
how
I know,
far his
I
head
know.
is above the water.
So I guess the idea is that it's moving its head above the water. It's holding its head above the water in
Yeah,
some
yeah.
fashion. But it is undulating, so I think it does go back under the water. But like but it pops its
it
head.
seems like
is
he's
its
like...
body? Is
So I
body
think
staying or
it's-
undulating? But
I think
the
it's
head
not
is staying
doing
above.
that. I think the head is going underneath.
Oh,
But
okay.
when it keeps its head up, it's about that high above it. Is my understanding.
Okay.
It's not super clear all the time. And this one said he made little progress in the water. So,
So
I,
this one's
this
saying
one's
he's slow.
struggling. This
or
one's
he's
struggling.
chilling.
yeah.
I guess yeah.
Could be casual.
me
Could be a casual Friday for the sea
in.
serpent.
Well, I know it's very true. First of all, it is Casual Friday for the sea serpent. And a lot of you guys are saying, hey, why aren't these people taking action? I'm a man of action. And why aren't they?
I mean, it's the 1800s. What are they going to...
Oh no, that's a time.
They're gonna load the
they would-
cannons?
Yeah.
What was that?
Are they going to load the cannon?
They might do something.
They're going
That's
to
a
shoot
time
cannons at this
You
thing?
shoot anything you
They're not
don't
gonna shoot-
understand.
They're not
back
going to
then.
shoot cannons, but they might give that strategy a try. This is Matthew Gaffney. He's a ship carpenter from Gloucester.
I was in a boat and within 30 feet of him. His head appeared full as large as a 4-gallon keg.
As his head appeared full as large as a 4-gallon keg. That's an
big.
expression I don't have anymore. Also, full as large. His body as large as a barrel, and his length that I saw, I should judge 40 feet at least. So this guy's like much better estimating length. It seems.
What did
So
he
he
say?
said
40
40
feet.
feet?
Yeah, he said it would be out 40 feet.
That
length.
feels more realistic.
Okay. I fired at him when he was nearest to me. I had a good gun and took good aim. I aimed at his head, and I think I must have hit him. Overconfident. He turned to us immediately after I had fired, and I thought he was coming at us, but he sank down and went directly under our boat and made his appearance about 100 yards from where he sunk. My gun carries a ball of 18 to the pound. I suppose there is no person in town more accustomed to shooting than I. Oh my god, this guy.
Oh,
I
he
have seen
loves
an
to
animal
shoot.
several other times, but never had so good a view of him on this day. His motion was vertical like the caterpillar.
Okay, people.
So this
keep
guy shot it in the
talking
fucking
about
head.
Yeah. Says he shot it in the head.
Yeah, but he
this
didn't-
thing did not care.
I guess it reappeared, and yeah, but he didn't it didn't die, and he didn't get a good look at it when it reappeared or anything. He didn't catch it. So,
Yeah.
I guess you can't shoot this one. It's too powerful.
Yeah, I get. Oh, it's like a.
Or he
it's like a
missed.
grizzly bear.
Or he missed.
Or he hit it in a bad spot. I don't.
It was
I
a
don't
gun
know.
in the 1800s. I don't
That's
know
true.
how.
That's true.
He seems a little
And
overconfident. this guy.
what is 18 pound something? What?
I don't know.
What?
I assume that's ball of 18 to the pound. I assume that's like a caliber measurement or
18
something.
grain, maybe?
I assume it's some kind of caliber measurement.
don't
You're
worry,
gonna get
I'm
on a
looking
fucking
it up.
FBI watch
I'm
list for
looking
this.
at. Likely or? Oh, okay. No. All right. Yeah. No. No one knows what that means.
Yeah, I mean, you could put gun, ball of 18 to the pound, and see if that helps. But I don't know. I don't know how much more information you're gonna get.
Yeah. That sounds like an old timey. A cannon?
An 18
Oh,
pound
an 18-pound
cannonball.
cannonball.
Yeah, I assume it's like he has a big heavy bore kind of like hunting rifle type
Yeah, 'cause
thing that shoots
there's
a big
nothing-
ball. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
probably like a really small cannonball that you put into a musket and fucking
Gun
pop on
people,
somebody.
hit us up. Let us know what this is.
Gun people from 175 years ago.
Historical gun people.
I'm sure there are some people
No,
who
I
love
bet, yeah.
historic guns.
I don't know why they'd be listening to the show, but if they are, give us a word. All right, we'll do a couple more because these are they're very similar, but I guess they're giving some background. There's like a lot of these. There's tons of people saw this
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I appreciate that the stories are relatively consistent.
Yeah.
Except for
No.
one person saying it was 40.
Yeah, none of them are
instead
consistent.
100.
Another one's going to say it's 40 right now. I saw a singular kind of animal or fish,
It's a baby.
which I
Oh my God,
we'll
there's
get there
two
too,
of them.
which I had never before seen passing by our quarter at a distance of about 40 feet, standing along shore. It was a dark color. I saw no tongue, but I heard William Summerby and Robert Bragg, my two men who were with me, call, "Look at his tongue."
Oh.
She's like, I didn't see a tongue, but my boys
Is that a horny alarm?
did. I have seen whales very often. His motion was much more rapid than whales or of any fish that I have seen. He left a very long wake behind him. He did not appear to alter his course in the consequence of being so near the vessel. I have been to sea many years and never saw any fish that had the least resemblance to this animal. So this is at least a sea guy.
Yeah.
And
He's
then,
familiar with the ocean type.
and then there's a guy. They're like, oh, this guy, Captain Beach, he has a drawing. He made a drawing of this. And people are like, oh, it's a pretty good drawing. Which is how I want people to talk about me. And then so they find this thing. I'm showing the crew.
I'll link this in the spooky
That's a pretty good
specimens.
drawing.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it's a decent drawing.
Yeah, it's a pretty good drawing.
It gives me an idea of...
You can also buy prints of it through this site if you want.
Business
so it's a drawing.
interest.
I guess how would you describe it? How would you describe it to the people at home?
It's about as wide as a barrel.
It looks like it's a big long like.
It's got more of a dragon head than a dog.
So it's a big long brown snake with like a dragon or horse head, and it has like two white bands near its neck.
So it does have more of a dragon head, but I will say it has dog vibes.
Look at its tongue, though.
Yeah.
Did it have a tongue? Can we
Yeah,
see
it had
the
a tongue. Had a fork.
Yeah.
But
Looked like a forked
the way
serpent.
it was like almost laying in the water. It looks doggish to me. It does look a little
Yeah.
It
doggy.
does look like it's chilling.
Your
like
theory
a
is
dog.
100 dogs,
It's a bunch of dogs.
33 dogs.
lined up in a row in
all
a
right.
suit.
Well, let's get stupider with the fucking thing, huh? Mr. Colby says that he and two of his sons were gathering hay when the young serpent was first discovered by one of his boys, who called to his father to run, for he never saw such a strange snake. Mr. Colby ran about 4 rods. Don't remember how long that was. With a
110 yards.
Was that 4 though?
Oh no.
Okay, I don't remember the rods. With a pitchfork in his hand before the young serpent had crept 1 rod. Horrible measuring system. As the serpent was passing over some loose rocks, he clapped his pitchfork down and confined him against the rocks, where the snake exhibited more temper than he'd ever seen displayed on by one before. He threw his head around, seized his own body, held on, and shook as one dog shakes another while fighting. His tail likewise seemed to be a weapon of defense, for he swung it around several times, and struck by the end of it against the handle of the pitchfork when Mr. C could hear a noise, which clicked like a pin when struck against the handle.
A pin.
No fucking clue what this guy's talking about.
This is from an 1800s context.
Yes,
So
yeah.
a pin is probably like the gun, like.
I mean, I
sound.
think it's like just metal hitting metal, like
Yeah,
ding.
yeah.
So I think he's just saying it sounds like it hits something
So
metal when
the
it's snapping.
fucking
It's
thing
got, like,
is
hard
made, So
scales?
it's
I think
made
it's
of
got,
metal.
Yeah, it's got hard scales, or it just probably hit the thing in the right way. I'm not convinced this one happened.
Did he find it on land?
So it's they're like on the rocks on the side of water.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't, this one feels like it's not real. Or it feels like they found a big snake. This one feels like they might have found a big snake.
And
You know what I mean?
they were like, oh, this must be the same
And they
thing.
stabbed it like, this thing's going crazy. It's freaking out.
Just for anyone curious, a rod is equal to 16.5 feet or 5.5 yards. So 4 rods.
20 yards.
22 yards.
Yeah, 60 something feet.
Yeah.
66 feet, whatever, you know. Great. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Now I know how many rods this guy was.
Well, so he saw him 4 yards away.
So he saw it. He saw
4
20 yards away.
20 yards away.
4 rods, 20 yards, with a pitchfork in his hand. Oh no. So he ran from about 20 yards away, and then before the serpent had got like 5 rods, he got over there, and then he stabbed it with the. I think he kind of like, I guess he didn't stab it. He like held it against the rock with his pitchfork.
Yep.
And it got really pissed off.
Are we implying that he killed the serpent?
No, I think he just held it against the rock a little bit and it freaked out and like slapped him. So he might have been holding the end of it or whatever. But
Can I say something a little inflammatory?
Sure.
I said it was fake already. Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for the serpent in this story.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if the serpent's real, it's a bunch of idiot assholes from Gloucester
just chilling.
shooting it and holding it against the rock. It's a big animal.
He's just chilling, and they're like, trying to
Also,
like.
he would have had to stab it. He couldn't have just like pinned it against like the thing was as thick as a barrel.
Yeah,
Maybe it's got skin that's
it sounds like
impenetrable.
I
I
guess
guess they just found a big snake.
yeah. This one sounds like he found a big snake. It seems like it would have been too big as described for him to pin it against the rocks if it's actually the size it is. So yeah, I doubt that story a little bit. I'm gonna end our little stories there, kind of. I think I'm gonna. I'll give you this one. This one's a little silly. It kind of alludes to something we're gonna
I love a
experience
good
later.
silly story.
Lawson Nash sent a letter on September 28th, 1817, confirming that Captain Beach had in his possession a young serpent that had been killed the day before. I have the pleasure of informing you that Captain John Beach of this place has in his possession a young serpent that was yesterday killed on the seashore here, which we have no doubt is one of the young American mammoth serpent that has lately visited our harbor. Which justly excited by your curiosity and attention. He was killed near Thatcher's Island, and he gives this detail of how he got this young serpent. We'll kind of talk a little bit more about that young serpent later.
Mammoth
perhaps.
serpent. That's a new
start,
name.
They start kind of like crowning
New
it
name.
a thing. So
New name
all
on
of these accounts came because there's this society called the Linnaean Society of New England, and they're like an old-timey fucking group of guys hanging out. I'll see if I can get like information about what they were specifically, but they are just like an old educational society in New England. It was like their whole thing. There's like one in London or whatever, but they're like all about like science and natural history and all this shit. So people are reaching out and they're telling the Linnaean Society like, hey, there's this fucking
Serpent.
there's this gigantic demon prowling, and they're like, oh my god, this is so exciting. We're gonna find a new creature. And like at this time, America has just become independent from England, right? Like
Yeah. So
30-something
everyone's
years
on
ago.
edge
and
still.
we fought the War of 1812. We're through that, and we're like, we need to like prove ourselves as like different and unique. So the idea of finding like a big crazy species was very like alluring to the Linnaean Society. So they really want this thing to be real. So they come to Gloucester and they collect all those stories from everyone who was like, I saw the serpent, I hit it with a rock, I shot it, I threw a fucking spear at it. Like they get all these stories from everyone, and they get hundreds of stories. You can actually still find it on archives.org. Their whole report written up about this fake animal they found.
Can I say real quick? I
Yeah.
also take issue with the guy saying that he found a young serpent.
Yeah, how does he know the age?
So we'll get there. Yeah,
Well,
because it's small.
it's because it's small.
Well,
Yeah.
I assume that's why, but also, homie, you just found a snake.
Okay, so we'll get there. First of all, it's very rude of you to suggest that. So Judge John Davis, who's the head of the Linnaean Society, he commissions Gloucester's Justice of the Peace, Lawson Nash. I said Gloucester correctly, and my brain was like, you didn't say that right.
Gloucester.
That's just, I hate this fucking town. Lawson Nash is this guy's name. So someone in Gloucester is named Lawson Nash.
Yeah, you read a story that he said.
Lawson
Yeah,
Nash.
no, I did.
You know what?
He was the one who said like, oh, we found a baby snake.
Yeah, no, he's the one that coined the term mammoth, American mammoth serpent.
And so he's the one going around and talking to people and collect. That's why he's like, oh, I found a good thing, because it's his job to collect all this like testimony and submit it to the organization. So he's like the fucking, I don't know, some little smimy, little bimey guy. A guy who's a dork in a Disney movie. And he's like, oh,
Yeah.
the governor, let me help you. That's Lawson Nash running around
Well, his
collecting
name
shit.
is Lawson, and I feel like the past few episodes we might have let a few names slide, and
Yeah.
I'm not
You're
letting
not letting
Lawson
Lawson go?
slide.
I think Lawson's cool. Lawson should make a comeback.
It's kind of a cool name, I guess, but
I don't like Lawson
it's
very much.
it's definitely something I've
It's
never
all
heard before.
It's all O's and S's and N's and L's, and that's too much for me.
That is how you spell Lawson.
So these are all the statements he's taken are sworn statements because he's like a justice guy. So
Oh.
these are not
solemn affidavits.
these are solemn. These are not goofy affidavits. So don't suggest they
That's
are.
important.
Okay, so part of it, the reason the story became so lively is because like everyone in Gloucester was like, yeah, we saw the fucking snake, bro. Like they were all so excited.
And they
to
all
help
have a
out.
similar story.
Yeah,
at
and
least.
people would like sit around on the shore looking for this thing and like seeing it in like beach chairs together or whatever the fuck, basically. Like they were looking for
cracking some brewskis.
the whole town was seeing this piece of shit snake sliding around.
The town became known for it.
Yeah, kind of. Although weirdly, like now they don't have like a little Gloucester pin. They have a sea serpent pin. They're pretty chill
They
about it
should.
now.
They
Well,
should.
that's what Jeff Belanger says. So we'll get there too.
That's what the Dover.
Well, I know. Yeah.
They have their little
No,
thing.
I know. What happens is you need Lauren Coleman to come down and be like, I call this one the Gloucester Master. He's an evil guy. And then you're like, thank you, Lauren. He doesn't talk like that, but I imagine he does in my mind. So one day, in the middle of the Sea Serpent Mania, a group of Gloucester residents walking in Loblolly Cove.
Loblolly Cove.
Yeah.
Loblolly Cove.
Okay.
Don't say yeah like we're supposed to be like, oh yeah, normal name.
I'm
Of
not
course.
gonna lie. That sounds.
That's where you found the fucking little guys from the Oompa Loompa. They lived in
Well,
Loblolly
I
Cove and they
think
made their little
That
chocolates.
sounds
okay?
like a British phrase.
It's
for
as
a
believable.
hard-on.
It's as believable as any other name you've said.
the little guys.
So far.
I think the little guys who tied up Gulliver in Gulliver's Travels lived in Lollipop Cove
That-
or whatever the fuck.
If the town's name was Loblolly, it'd be better than Gloucester.
No, that is a British term for a boner. They're like, oh, bruv, she gave me a loblolly.
Dear Lord.
That's how we got the name Loblolly Cove. That's where you would go to get boners.
So a group of
A group of men were going to get
They're
boners
going to
in Loblolly Cove.
Gethead Cove. They were going to suck each other off of the cove, and they discovered a small black snake on the beach. Its back was lined with tiny humps, and some of the locals excitedly proclaimed that they had found one of the sea serpent's offspring. So they picked up the deceased snake and they sent it over to the Linnaean Society to provide them with the physical specimen they desired.
So they found a snake.
So
They
on
found
the
a
be- They found an
baby.
eel. They found an eel on the beach.
I did not let you talk yet. The society was ecstatic and promptly named their new species Scoliophis atlanticus.
Okay. Scoliosis.
Yeah.
Scoliosis atlantosis.
Yeah, and that's it. They found the sea serpent.
Yep.
But this one's a smaller baby or whatever.
It was dissected, and they did determine it was nothing more than a juvenile black racer with tumors on its spine.
Yeah.
I gotta
they
look
found-
up what a black
They found a
racer
black
is.
snake.
Yeah, they
Trev?
found a black.
Think of a black snake.
Yeah, if you imagine a snake that's black,
They found it.
Okay, yeah,
Can you-
that
what
is
they found.
can you put it on the screen?
Yeah,
please,
you
so
wanna
we
see it
can,
on
if
the
you're gonna look
screen?
it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way, Trev. Everything should be on the screen you're looking up, so we
I
can
just
all
can't
see it.
that far.
I know, but we have to see it too. So yeah, it's a black snake.
Yeah.
So this one had tumors, hence the lumps. It was just a little fucked up. It was a poor baby snake.
Yeah.
And so that happens, and everyone was kind of bummed.
I love the idea of these people finding a black snake that looks like a snake. Like they live in a time where snakes exist, and then sending it, assumedly on a ship to London for the Linnaean Society.
Well, yeah, you gotta.
Or was there a Linnaean Society of like Boston?
I think Lawson called the guy back to like Boston from the
so
society.
he made them
Yeah.
come.
So he made them
here.
come back
Well,
on a boat.
I think he was like, "Oh, I found something. Come take a look," like or whatever. I don't know. It might have been a New England chapter of the society, but it was sort of close by.
This little black racer is actually
also-
kind of adorable.
Snakes are cute, man. They're little guys. They got little.
So they found like a juvenile snake,
Yep.
Yep.
A baby.
Yeah.
Some would say.
A little baby snake,
about yay big.
like 6 inches big.
I'm guessing that if the species gets to like 5 to 7 feet, that a baby could still be like 3 feet or something. It could have a little girth to it.
I'll look up
It's
the
definitely
measurements.
small, and so they were like, "Oh, it's a baby."
Black racer snake size, average length 36 to 60 inches.
Yeah, so it can get up to 5 feet. So it's possible a baby could be like 3 feet still,
Yeah.
and still be kind of baby. But I think it also could have been like a fully grown black racer,
with tumors on its
or
spine.
it could have been like, oh, we found this 1 foot. It's so baby that it died because it's all fucked up. Like they thought it was a
Yeah.
super baby. Like it just popped out of the serpent, basically.
Yeah,
That's my other theory, is that it's like incredibly baby,
Oh,
like
okay.
whittle. It's a whittle guy.
like tiny.
Yeah, well, like
tiny.
you know how like some animals, they like spurt out a bunch of fucking babies,
Yeah.
and they're like
Yeah.
really tiny versions of it. you know?
Seahorses.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, oh, it's that little dust is actually all the little seahorses floating around. And so maybe they were like, oh, this is like, he's gonna get really big one day, but this is the youngest he could have died, or he looks like a snake,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But like when that happened, the public was like, oh, never mind, I guess. Which
Yeah.
is very funny to me also, that like
They were all
you
disappointed.
believed in a sea demon, and then you saw one guy faked it, and you're like, oh, okay, well, fuck it, whatever.
The whole thing is fake.
Yeah, so the main way that this word gets out a little bit, though, is because this this playwright, I think this is really funny. This makes me laugh. His name is William Crafts. He's from Charleston, South Carolina, and he writes this play called The Sea Serpent, or Gloucester Hoax, a dramatic jeu d'esprit in 3 acts. And
3 acts.
Yeah, and so it's a play about everyone in Gloucester like finding a real life sea serpent, and they're like, oh, and everyone's rhyming in iambic pentameter like they're Shakespeare. And then at the end, like everyone's so excited and they're so happy, and they're like betting all this money in the creature, and then it's like just a big fish. It's like a horse mackerel, which is like one of the more common types of fish. So the premise is
he's like straight up trolling all
he's
these
like,
people.
he's like, look at these fucking dumb idiots, you know. He rhymes.
Look at all of these dumbass idiots. Like,
He also rhymes affidavit with knave it.
what is
Knave
knave
it.
Knave it?
Yeah,
Am I gonna have to look
knave
that
it.
one
No,
up
like
too?
you knave it. Like knave is a thing you can do to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know what knave means. A dishonest or unscrupulous man. Oh, that's a noun
It's
though.
probably like a very old version of the word.
I can't,
But
I
also
can't
he could
find
just
it.
be
I
like,
like how you went straight to silent K.
yeah.
Is that not what I've never
Might
seen?
not be.
What is NAVE? Oh wow, that is another. That's a word, but that's not what we're looking
I also
for.
didn't look up the play, so he could have used it anyway. You know.
Yeah.
I think it was an M&M orange door hinge type thing. We're like, that doesn't really rhyme that much, but we'll give it to you. All right. So we gotta get to the real meat of the potatoes here.
I love the meat,
Which
of
is
the potatoes.
Skeptical Inquirer, which means you guys are going to be having a little boner for this one, okay? This is my boy Joe Nickel.
What'd you call me?
Okay, strike that from the record, please. No, Joe is writing for the Skeptical Inquirer here, a great little mag about how shit is fake, that and everything sucks. But he gives the same kind of background we did. There's a big serpent.
Yep.
Everyone's really scared. There's people shooting it in the head with a musket ball. I think it's really funny that he's like, yeah, people are shooting it for some reason. He also mentions some of the weird stuff, like, oh, it's seen by fishermen like 10 or 12 days ago, and then like it comes in the harbor, and then people start seeing it. He mentions that some people describe it as like 50 feet, 100 feet. It kind of like,
Yeah,
it's whatever.
It's also the length could be not subjective, but
People don't know
it
how
could
to
be
measure.
subject
Partially-
to how far out.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
If you're looking at
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ocean, you're like,
true.
Yeah.
that could be 30 yards or 300 yards, and it kind of looks all the
Hard
same.
to tell.
Yeah, or it could be partially,
And then, like,
it could be partially submerged or
underwater,
something.
yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
So he mentions that like there's quite a bit of study in this thing. Like people are throwing harpoons into it. They're like people are trying to find these things, and they're very like bedraggled at trying to catch these or whatever. And so fucking. This guy rocks, for the record. Skeptic guy rocks. If we hope to do better, we should begin by questioning the dogma that the creature was a great snake.
The dogma.
You tell him.
The
He's like, this
dogma.
shit is trash. Yeah. He's like, everyone believes it's a snake, and we should start by being like, is this really a fucking snake?
Yeah, it could be a big giant.
Could be rope.
Skinny
rope with
whale.
buoy.
Could be
Could
a
be rope with
He
buoy.
gets into
whale.
the first part he wants to highlight is the undulatory nature. He says the Boston Sentinel took great pains to note it did not wind laterally along as serpents commonly do. Serpents are side to side typically.
Yeah.
But its motion is undulatory or consisting of alternating rising and depression, like a caterpillar.
Yes.
His motion was vertical, said the ship's captain, and also, like Trev said, I would say it's the vertical side to side.
Yeah. Well, so the thing though, I will give credit for. We don't know every way an animal can move. It could be a new animal that moves that way.
we do know a lot about animals, and so most reptiles.
Could be a snake.
Reptiles
On its
typically.
side.
Reptiles, well, it could be, but reptiles typically go side to side when they're moving.
I
to
agree
maintain
with
motion.
that, but
there's not.
you
really,
never know.
Name one that doesn't.
That's what I mean.
Okay, so you're silenced for 2
There's-
minutes for suggesting bad skepticism.
There's a new there's new hotness
well-
dropped. It's a new movement pattern.
I guess you're right. If because snakes go side to side in the water, and no creatures go undulatory in the world.
Yeah,
Except for
dolphins.
whales
except
and
for-
dolphins.
Yeah, exactly.
Dolphins.
Yeah. So Joe brings up that every mammal
my
actually goes
God.
like this,
Yeah.
which is a useful thing to think about when we're trying to think about this creature. So he's suggesting that something like a dolphin would actually match the undulatory movement, right? Or some kind of
Yeah.
mammal. But it's serpentine, right? It's too long to be a dolphin.
Unless it's a pod of dolphins.
Unless it's a pod of
Unless it's
dolphins.
multiple dolphins.
Yeah,
Playing-
exactly.
Playing a prank on
Well-
the humans.
So, yeah, perhaps they are moving in a pod, and they're moving, and people are looking, and they're seeing like here's one, and then
Yes.
and then as it goes in, something else comes out. Like you get this motion of like, oh, it's one long thing.
And they've got a long face.
There's also, there's one or two accounts of the sea serpent that I didn't read out earlier that mention that it has a spear on its head.
A spear.
a spear on its head.
Like
not
its head comes to a point.
Yeah, not like a human through a spear.
Oh.
But that it has a spear sticking out of its head.
Like a narwhal.
That's
Like
very-
a narwhal.
Oh.
And so
or
Joe,
dolphin. Even.
Joe well, yeah, but specifically it's described like a horn.
Oh, okay.
And so Joe thinks that it's probably like a pod of narwhals that are essentially moving in line in lockstep and
do
sort of mirroring.
narwhals breach like that?
They do, yeah.
Okay.
They do, and also they mention a few times how the serpent like sleeps, like it sits in the water, and narwhals do that a lot too. A lot
Yeah.
of the behaviors they describe of the serpent, narwhals actually do kind of do as well.
They do say they've seen it curled up on the rocks.
That was a really, really early account, and also that was not to call my guy into question. That was Jeff Belanger said that he from that account of like 1618,
Yeah.
and he didn't provide like a source of that.
Yeah.
So someone might have said they
Also,
saw it curled up on the
are
rocks,
they-
but also it might not have been like a dry rock. It might have been it's in the water and they see a
Yeah.
curling shape and it's
A narwhal- a narwhal
or
doing a
also
circle.
a big serpent and
Yeah, yeah.
a different thing. You know, this is not the 1800s creature.
Are they most of these accounts? I don't know if you would know this. Are they mostly in the summer?
Yep.
Oh.
Do narwhals migrate?
It's mostly August. They do, yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
So
Are narwhals a migratory species?
well, unfortunately, let me read it to you. Narwhals do exhibit seasonal migrations, moving closer to the coast in summer months. So yeah, they move exactly where they should be. yeah. It's actually perfect.
I do have one
yeah.
hole to poke though.
What is your hole to poke? Are you poking it like you're a narwhal with a little horn?
Yes. If they're
It's
all.
actually a tooth.
Yeah, I know. Well, whatever. I gotta make my little bits.
Did they ever mention like this thing having like multiple spines or anything? Because I'm picturing like if it's a bunch of narwhals doing the little undulating thing, you would see like the other horns of the other narwhals further back in the line.
Not if you're looking at the first one and then
Yeah.
trying to catch the
Yeah.
like.
Also-
you're not like trying to catch the next narwhal. You're like, oh, look that thing's jumping, and then you're like, oh, I see more.
They also would have to be like perfectly in sync with
No,
their
they
jumps.
wouldn't.
As we've seen,
They're looking
descriptions
at
of
them like 400 yards away into the ocean.
we're actually gonna get
and
into
there's
that.
waves. and-
As we have
That's fair.
seen, descriptions of the Gloucester sea serpent varied wildly, not surprisingly because while some saw one relatively closely, others viewed it from afar. One witness, for example, watched through his spyglass at a quarter of a mile's distance. He, like most others, saw no eyes, mane, breathing holes, fins, or other fine features. Like many others, however, he reported the creature had his head out of the water, as a narwhal often does. So if one narwhal is in the pack leading and they're looking from 500,000 feet away and they're like, oh my god, look, it's got the head up and the other ones are breaching and pulling through and he's going, oh my god, look at it.
This also explains why some people were like, it's 100 feet
Yeah,
long,
yeah.
and others are like, oh, it's 40 feet long,
Yeah,
and it's like,
exactly.
oh, there's 3 narwhals instead of
well, yeah,
7.
exactly. The pod size is different. We've also talked about this where I call it I'm calling it like story creep, and we had some
Oh,
other term.
yeah, yeah.
But like the idea is like so Brett goes
First guy, it's a fishing story.
Ex-
Like
well-
the first guy saw it as 40 feet, and
So-
then the next guy's like, oh no, it was 60.
So
feet.
that happens too, but also imagine you go to the let's pretend you go to the ocean and you see a real sea monster. And you go, "Oh my god, I saw a sea monster." And then I go and I see a big snake. And I go, "Oh, it must be that sea snake that Brett saw." And I've kind of put that on you, even though my story is actually a different thing, but I didn't realize it at the
Yeah.
time. It happens with ghosts because they'll be like, "Oh, this
Yeah.
is a red-headed ghost," and then it's like, "This is a little girl wearing red," and you're like, "Wait, but she didn't say the hair was red, so is it the same ghost?"
like
But it's like it gets merged into one.
like telephone.
Exactly.
Like a game of
Yeah.
telephone.
And so
Oh.
it gets kind of these stories. The story of the guy who held the snake against the rocks is getting put in as one of this, but it might have been a guy who found a big snake and was like, "Oh, this must be the big undulating thing,"
Yeah. Which
And-
came from the
and-
guy who was like, oh, I found one curled up on the rocks.
Because his wasn't like doing the thing, so he might have just seen a big snake, and then the rock guy. So it's like all these stories get kind of merged into one thing when it could be like some asshole found a big snake, and we know they can confuse snakes for shit because they're stupid.
I
They're
will
idiots. They're killing
also
baby
say
snakes.
that narwhal does fit a good size of like a barrel width.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are barrel width. They can swim at great speed. They can. They mention. One of the reports I didn't read earlier because it's not in that little brief I had. But they report that the animal can dive straight down without changing its body. Like it doesn't have to like contort its body to dive down. It can just dive. And he mentioned that narwhals can do that because they have flippers on their bottom, so they can like shoot into the water very quickly. They don't have to like get up to dive. They can just like boom and
Yeah.
dive. So the fact that the creature can do that means that like, oh, you watch everything dive because the creature dives. The whole pod goes down.
Now I'm picturing a poor narwhal getting blasted by that guy's gun.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
other
It also
ones
makes
just
sense
keep
why
going.
Yeah.
why that guy says he shot at one.
And it was unaffected.
It disappeared, and then reappeared 100 yards
Yeah.
like behind the boat.
It's a whole pod.
because it's a different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be a different creature.
Yep. and so they mentioned in August 1819 the Gloucester sea serpent appearing at Nahant. It was stationary for 4 hours near the shore. That's really consistent with how narwhals will narwhals will sleep and stuff. They also mentioned that people will report like, oh, the creature's body, its coloration is dark above and it's like kind of white on the bottom, which like older narwhals get white as they age. And so like that's the older one swimming along it or whatever. So that's the sort of skeptical debunking of this theory.
I like narwhal theory.
The other theory people
narwhal
suggest is
theory.
like an oarfish. They don't usually get out to Gloucester,
Oarfish.
but oarfish are like really big ass. If you type in big ass oarfish, like you'll be like, whoa, that's
Is
a
it
big ass
two
fish.
R's or
No,
It's probably
OAR
OAR.
fish. Yeah,
OAR?
OAR, like an oar of a boat. Fish. It's one word also.
Oh.
You're a fool.
Oh, wow.
If you find, click on the picture of the guys holding it on the right there. Nope, one over.
Oh, that thing's huge.
It's a big fish. So like it theoretically could be like a big ass fish, right? Like they can get really big and they can get bigger than that one in the picture.
Oh my god. This website.
Okay,
is
yeah, the New York
garbage.
Post is bad.
Yeah.
But so that they can get really large. You can see that's not the biggest they get, and that's,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
4
yeah.
guys holding one. This is like 15 guys holding one. And they're very
That's our
long.
guy.
So they don't
that
normally.
looks like it also swims.
It
It does from
Yeah,
side to
yeah,
side,
yeah.
and they don't normally get out that far. But it could have been like, for example, one could have washed up on that guy who held it against the rocks or whatever, or something like that. But
It also, I guess, it could have just been a dead one.
well, I found some
floating
article.
in the
I found some
water.
article, and they were like, "It's not an oarfish because," blah, blah, and they were a little too haughty about it. So I wanted to bring it up just to say, like,
Okay,
it probably
okay.
wasn't an oarfish, but it is a
the
possible.
spear on its head.
It's a
It
thing
looks
that
got
looks
a
like-
spear on
it
its
does.
head?
It does have a
Spear on
kind of a speary head. The guy describes it like a narwhal horn. When I read the guy's description by myself, I didn't include here. It does sound like he's describing a narwhal horn because he mentions it like a tooth sticking out of the head. Like he says
Yeah.
he says very
Okay,
narwhal ass
okay.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not very toothy looking.
Also, if a
but-
narwhal's far away, the head would look kind of blocky enough where it could look like a horse's head sticking out of the water. Okay, so we're gonna jump back over from Joe and his good research and thinking to Jeff at WGBH.
Oh, Jeff, we already called you out once, Jeff.
Well, he's going to address it. He says,
Okay.
right, exactly. There was an article in the Skeptical Inquirer that came out a few years ago by Joe Nickel that basically said, the mystery is solved. It's a narwhal. I know Joe. Joe was born and raised in Kentucky and got his PhD from the University of Kentucky. He's what I imagine a Gloucester man would call a landlubber. But a narwhal is an animal we've known about since the mid-1500s. It reaches about 14 feet in length. It looks almost like a porpoise without a dorsal fin. It's got a horn or almost like a spear sticking out of the top of its head. I don't imagine anyone would confuse that for a giant snake, but certainly if you've ever seen one, I imagine the head of the spear could look different to you. But I don't think you confuse 14 feet with 100.
He's misconstruing the argument.
Joe says that it's a group of narwhals moving in formation. Like Joe is very clear that he does not think it's one really big narwhal. He thinks it's like a pod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As narwhals travel.
And now Jeff has said like, oh, this moron thinks it's one singular narwhal, even though Joe is very clear that it is a multiple narwhal.
You know what I
thing.
think about Jeff?
You're being. Okay. I was not expecting the toot.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves is when people like take someone's argument and like make it, like
They make a worse version.
shrink
of
it
It's
into
called,
like
it's called the straw man.
Straw man.
You make a shitty version of the argument. This guy Joe thinks it's one single narwhal. What an idiot! This is too big to be one narwhal. When Joe is saying these people aren't looking at something as closely as they think they are, they're hundreds of feet away, and it's multiple things, and they think it's one because it's being compressed. And
It's the 1800s. They're looking through a looking
The guy's
glass.
looking through first of all, he's had 1,100 pints of beer because he caught 4 crabs that day, and he's looking through the scope of a giant musket rifle that he's shooting at randomly.
Honestly, Jeff is pushing
the
me
same-
further into skepticism.
These are the same people, like fishermen, that believed that fucking manatees were mermaids.
I know they were trying to fuck manatees all day.
well,
the same
hold
group
on.
of-
Hold on. Now.
I will say manatees
Hear
look
me
gentle. like if you think they're beautiful, I agree. They're wonderful creatures.
Hear
but,
me out. The beauty standard back then was a larger sized one.
Yeah. So Jeff is going to go on here, and he's going to give a little screed about being skeptical that I really sort of hate to my core. And I like to read for you
Wait,
guys.
is this the part of the podcast that makes Killian scream with rage?
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, for sure.
Here's the part of the podcast where I make Killian scream with rage.
So I'm going to read it to you guys, and you guys let me know how you feel about it as well. Whenever we see something that doesn't compute, we try so hard to put a label on it because it just gives us a sense of control, even if it's a false sense of control. We say, okay, this is just a snake that's large. This is a creature we don't know about yet. There's nothing supernatural or paranormal about it. It's just a flesh and blood animal. But at the same time, we've learned again and again, we don't know every creature that walks the earth with us, especially when it comes to the ocean. Does it give you more control to say that something is like an animal we don't understand fully than to say it's a fucking giant dragon that you have to fucking like that's so fucking dumb.
I don't really
When
know
did-
what argument is he trying to make.
when did this guy?
He's saying that skeptics.
When did this guy say this?
This is like fucking a year ago.
Yesterday.
Yeah. No, hold on. I'll pull it up. The actual interview.
When was the last confirmed sighting of the Gloucester sea serpent?
1817.
Yeah.
Wait, 1817?
1817. Yeah, no one's seen it. I mean, I feel like it pops up occasionally throughout the years, but I don't know if there are any actual like verifiable accounts. There's no pictures of it or anything like that. Where at least Loch Ness has the fake picture and shit.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. But like this
We would have caught it by now.
this was last year.
We've done enough like
Yeah, this is-
ocean dragging. To,
this interview was May 2024.
Well, if you consider the fact that it got scared from being shot so many times that it decided to
It's
stay
like,
I'm
away
sick of
from.
getting shot in the fucking head by this asshole sailor. 18 pound of musket
It
hitting
said,
the
"I'm
dome."
not coming back to this
Yeah.
place anymore."
I rejected the
has
idea.
any other like
No.
surrounding area seen this?
No.
Because like Gloucester isn't the only town in the area.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
at the
Were
time,
there reports
at the
from
time,
other-
At the time, there were sightings all over Cape Ann and stuff, but there's been nothing super recent. I also think that if you're looking at something far away now, you might have better technology to do it, and it might be a little clearer that it's whales hopping.
My the iPhone in my pocket can see better than
No,
that guy's
yeah.
looking glass.
Yeah, the fucking dumbass AI can tell you it's a
I'm
thing.
still confused by what argument he's making. Yes, we like to label things.
But I was gonna say
That's-
the idea that like just saying it's an animal gives you like a false sense of control, so you can feel in control, and it's like I feel like just ascribing something as like fantastical and beyond our understanding it's such an easy way of being like I'm not responsible for thinking about this anymore. It's a real monster. It's really scary. Like whatever. I just think it's so lame.
But like I think both can exist. Like I'm willing to say I don't know what it is, but it's probably this.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
it's not a sea monster, man. It ain't. We can get into this a little later too, but like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that has to come. The thing with cryptids is that like, for an animal to exist in the way it has to, it brings with it a whole bunch of baggage, right? Like it's one thing to be like a ghost is a ghost because a ghost doesn't have any like. There's no actual
You
attributes.
can't really compare
You
it
can
to
say whatever
something
you
that
want.
exists.
You can say whatever you want about a ghost, but if you start talking about like, oh, this thing is a giant elk, it's twice the size of an elk. Well, it's like, okay, well, actually, at that size, like the muscles don't work anymore. Like, there's a whole bunch of like physical factors that suddenly impede on it. But let's go back to Jeff here, being slightly less irritating to me in this line. He says, "What's interesting to me is that the story is identical to Cassie the sea serpent in Casco Bay, Maine, which isn't that far away. Those sightings go back to 1779. Same thing, giant snake, 100 feet long. They're even similar to some freshwater sightings like Lake Memfremagog from northern Vermont, and also Champ. It's not exactly like Champ, but those are freshwater bodies of water. I've never seen anything in Gloucester as far as keeping the legend alive. Now, if you go to the Lake Champlain, oh my God, there's a AAA baseball team called the Vermont Lake Monsters. There's T-shirts you can buy. So he's like, oh, Gloucester doesn't like give in and like do marketing and like have fun with the sea serpent, you know, like Champ does.
They don't.
in Vermont.
They don't monetize.
You know, well, you know,
They
like,
don't turn
like-
it into a
like
business
in Lake
interest.
Champlain. You can buy like I saw a Champ shirt, you know, or whatever. So
But
yeah,
you didn't.
do you guys know about the other Lake boys?
I actually don't.
No.
I'll give like the quickest sort of Wikipedia update of Champ.
Okay.
Champ, he lives in Lake Champlain, which is it's like New York, Vermont, Canada. It's a big
Northern
lake.
Vermont.
Northern Vermont. Yeah, it's up near Burlington.
Way up there.
It's
okay,
off of Burlington.
okay.
So you're right. You're like from Burlington. You're like an hour or two to over getting to Canada area, like Montreal type shit.
Yeah.
But so he lives supposedly in this lake of Lake Champlain. He's been spotted in there. There's like a little photograph of Champ swimming around. You know, that's
Champ
him.
is in a lake,
He's in a
Yes,
lake. Yeah, it's a freshwater lake.
bodies.
Yeah.
so we can find him because a lake is a finite
Okay.
body of
No,
water.
he's not real, but he we would be able to if he did. Yeah, for
That's-
sure.
that's the
yeah.
point I'm
But Vermont's really happy about him because he's fun. And there's like
that's fine.
There's Iroquois legends of giant snakes in the water and stuff. Champ doesn't look that big in this photograph, frankly. This would have to be like a really fucking. This seems like a little fucking guy. But so that's Champ. He's basically the Loch Ness monster, but in Vermont. And then obviously Loch Ness is the big one.
Yeah.
Loch Ness is a
Nessie.
also a freshwater lake, I believe. Although it has a tributary from the ocean, I think.
Yeah.
In Scotland. And Nessie lives in Loch Ness. That has been like trawled. It's been sonar thinged.
Yeah.
There was a sonar thing in the 60s they did, and they were like, oh my God, there's shoals of fish moving, but then there's also something else moving at like 10 knots, which is like faster than the shoals of fish move. But they did sonar as recently as like 1995, 2010,
Yep.
and there was nothing in there that was big enough. Also, the like, we're gonna get into this now. This I mentioned sort of like the limiters on things like this. There's not enough like fish in Loch Ness to keep something that big alive.
Yeah.
A
Well, that's the
plesiosaur
thing.
is so big that like you would need to have like enough shit for it to eat to
And there
live.
needs to be
Is
more
that
than one.
is that the working theory that it is a dinosaur? It is
Loch
a
Ness.
dinosaur.
A lot
Loch
of
Ness.
people
They
do
think
think
it's a plesiosaur. Yeah.
a pleasurosaur.
Pleasure ass sore. Yeah, I mean it's just like a monster. It's described as like a sea serpent or whatever, blah blah. But I think the prevailing theory that I always heard was that it's some kind of like dinosaur basically that got trapped in there. And in Lake Champlain, Champ has also sort of that like he looks like a plesiosaur. He has that sort of like hump back and then the long neck with like
Longer
the
neck.
triangular sort of head. Whereas the sea serpent here would be some kind of larger snake, which, like, I guess of the two of them, I'd be more likely to believe the sea serpent because he's in the ocean.
Right. Well, that's the thing. If
and
you're
also,
in a
like,
finite body of water,
yeah.
that's kind of easy to
theoretically, there
track
could be
down
a gigantic
eventually.
thing. Although, like, again, there's
larger bodies of
There's
water.
also like bones and feeding patterns and stuff, and also there's not really much of a reason for them to have died out if they lived in the ocean. Like, I feel like we'd be able to kind of find one today.
yeah.
100 foot
100 feet
long.
is really long. I mean, the longest thing in the ocean
That's
that
like
we
an
couldn't-
apex predator.
It would feel that way.
Assuming
and
it
also
eats-
as wide as a barrel is very wide.
Yeah.
Like that's a big thing. And then the largest thing we found in the ocean is like the giant squid, right?
Yeah.
And that was again assumed to be like fake. But also when
Blue
we
whales.
yes,
100
they're
feet
very
long.
big, and we
Like-
can find them and track them and etc.
Yeah.
But also
Yeah.
when we found the giant squid, it's not like big enough to destroy a Spanish galleon. You know what I mean? Like they're big, but they're like skinny and long. And usually the longer you get, the skinnier you get because you're like you can only have so much mass basically before you start to like I said, your body gets fucked. Like Godzilla couldn't exist because he's too big for. The muscles can't move bones at that size. Like it's too big for physics to work basically.
Yes.
as far as we know.
As far as we know. So, if you ever swim in the Gloucester harbor, I guess you have to be careful of this. I do like that this is the first story where someone shot at the fucking thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
no one would shoot Bigfoot. They were all too it's beautiful.
It was too
Yeah.
human.
Its eyes were too human. I couldn't shoot it. But this guy saw a
They
creature.
were
He's
like, I don't want to get charged for murder because it's probably some dude living in the woods.
it's some asshole in a suit. I don't want to blow him up.
That's some guy that hasn't shaved in 10 years. Like
That's some woman with hairy
I
ass
don't want to
tits.
get I don't want to get a murder charge pinned on me.
He looks back and Bigfoot's got a fucking gun and just fucking caps him.
Yeah.
He's like, damn.
Please don't ice me, homie.
Bigfoot is like, shoot first, motherfucker.
I will say, like, with at least with the lake ones, like like Champ, like people are excited about Champ. I think that's fine, but you do need to own that it is made up. Like, you can be excited, you can play pretend,
Well,
and
like,
I'm totally fine
I think
with
it's
that.
well known by now that the Loch Ness photo is the famous one is fake.
I've heard that.
And also, like a lot of it too, in lakes, there's more opportunity for like logs and stuff to be pushed to the surface suddenly, and it looks like a breaching animal. And people, they mentioned this, and Jeff mentioned this about Joe, and he was like, he's a landlubber. A Gloucester seaman will tell you what's going on. And it's like, I actually don't think that just being in a place means you know everything about it forever, and you can identify every animal that might possibly pass.
Yeah,
by.
we've talked about this before.
I lived in a town that we are currently recording in for fucking 25 years of my life.
Yeah.
The first time I saw a deer in person, I was like 23. I knew they existed and stuff, but like if you were like, oh, are there tons of deer in this town? I'd be like, not really. And then I saw like 15 in my backyard one day, and I was like, holy shit, they're everywhere.
I think I said this last episode. I've never seen a fisher.
yeah,
I've heard that.
Yeah.
There's
I've
no
heard them.
guarantee you get exposed to these things, especially
Well, it's
like the
like-
ocean's so big, shit can wash up, shit can come in for
When
a
we
time.
saw foxes at UMass,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, those are bigger than I expected a fox to be.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that was the first time I'd ever seen a fox in person.
No, exactly.
And I was like, that's as big as a dog.
Yeah.
I expected
Fox and
fox to be
sauce.
like a small dog, not like a big dog.
No, yeah. And a lot of like animals, a lot of times people hear like screams in the woods and it's like a fox shrieking or whatever, like because
Yeah.
they make weird sounds. But there's all this idea of like, oh, these people who live there, I've lived in Dover, Mass my whole life. I know that was the Dover demon. And it's
Yeah.
like, hey man, maybe you just never seen an owl before and you got but like even especially the ocean. Because how many times does like a random shark get into a bay all of a sudden and it's like, oh my God, there's a shark in fucking the Taunton River or whatever. Like things can end up in there that haven't
But
been ending up
also-
in there for forever.
Sea creatures.
They
of
also don't
all-
have GPS. Like,
Yeah, no, yeah.
Sea creatures of all things are the ones that people should be the least cocky about because one, we statistically know less about the ocean than we do about outer space, and two, sea creatures be fucking weird.
yeah.
They're strange as hell.
Yeah. No, they are fucked up little guys.
You ever see the deep sea creatures?
They're fucked up.
They don't look like anything I've ever seen before.
I'll be honest. The first time I went fishing with my dad in a pond and we were catching bass, I was like, "Fishing's fun." And then I was reeling and a fucking pickerel popped up. I was like, "What the fuck is that? Is that a demon eel?"
I don't even know what a pickerel
It's
looks
just like
like.
a long, skinny,
it's a-
like
it's
got sharp teeth.
Yeah, it's a fish that looks like an eel, and it is just like 100% teeth. and it hates you. They're also, it looks very colored. There. A lot of them are kind of darker than that. Like those are very lightly colored, so they can especially if they're soaking wet, and they're like,
oof, that one gave me the heebie-jeebies.
They're long and they look like kind of like an eel when they pop up first, and they have big ass teeth, and the reason you catch so many of them is because they bite shit first, and then they decide if they don't like it or not after they've bitten it. Mm-hmm. So they'll bite your lure and be like, fuck. But they'll also bite like a child and be like, yeah, good, or whatever. So I pulled one out and I was like, this is a demon. This is a demon from the deep sea. And my dad was like, it's a pickerel, you moron. And I was like, I've never heard of this fish before, Dad.
They are kind of spooky looking.
No, they're so violent that most people will just
cut
kill
the shit off.
They'll just kill them.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to get their.
Wow.
They'll kill them to get the lure out of their
By
mouth.
the shit, I meant like their body.
Yeah.
They kind of look like the guy, the scientist from Nightmare Before Christmas. You know what I'm talking about? Here, I'll pull it up.
I do for some reason. I hate this.
I couldn't tell you the last time I saw Nightmare.
Can we find a fish that looks like Oogie Boogie real quick? You're laughing.
That guy is a pickerel.
Yeah. No, I agree. Unfortunately, maybe he's the Dover demon. He's got a Dover demon proportions.
I hate this guy. He fucking sucks.
Yeah, I don't like his bowl cut.
This is a very visual episode. This episode is extremely visual.
Yeah, I think Brett really likes making you Google stuff.
Yeah,
is that fair to say? I think Brett's into demanding.
I just like to have knowledge.
I understand. I
like to know things.
I would have brought more books.
I'm a knower of things.
Well, you're a knower of things. Are you a binker of things?
Uh-oh.
Let's say...
I mean, sure, I might be.
Let's think about the Gloucester sea serpent, and let's put him on a scale of, I guess, like 1 to 10.
Yeah.
And we'll say 1, unbinked.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
No, sorry. 1 is fully binked.
Oh, yep.
I'm glad to see the scale has not been fleshed out.
No, it has. It makes more sense now, but the using the word banked is dragging the scale out of the world. 1, fully banked. It's real. It's a really not a real thing.
Do you want to try that again?
Gloucester sea serpent. Let's put on a scale. 1 to 10. 1, fully banked.
Does not exist.
It's not a real animal.
Yeah.
Or it is a real animal, but it's not a
cryptid.
1 to 10. 1 means it's fake. 10 means it's a real thing we're scared of, and it's a monster.
Yes.
Okay.
As described by the stories.
By the drunken sailors who were shooting at it. Yeah. So let's start with our guest, Brett. From a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being fully banked, 10 being not at all banked, we have to bank it. Should we go to Gloucester and shoot at things in the water until we kill a big serpent?
I'm going 1.
Okay.
Oof. I'm still partial to rope with buoy attached to it.
Honestly, based on some of the stories, it might be like a dog with a knapsack or something. I'm very concerned.
Yeah, 1 for sure.
Yeah, so not real. So fully banked.
Okay, so
Trev.
Realistically, I'm gonna go with a 2. Because
I was bordering on 2.
I think there is a world where there's a big giant ocean snake thing
that died.
That's an anomaly for the time or whatever.
I don't think it's real anymore.
I don't think it's real anymore.
Either way, it'd have to be dead for sure now.
It could have just been
but
like this weird thing that just had like gigantism or something. It's unlikely.
The thing that pushed me into 1 is that there have been no sightings of it, no mentions of it since the 1800s.
Yeah. Right.
And like, you would have if it so frequently for since 1600 to 1800 appeared in this one area, you would think that it would continue to appear in that area. Well, considering that it only got shot at once.
Unfortunately, they killed the last living one.
I went to the new Cryptozoology wiki. The most recent sighting, according to this wiki, which does not look very factual, says 1967, I believe.
Oh.
Let me
see. Stuff like that makes me believe it less. Because like if it just died and it didn't have any offspring, then I'm like, okay, well that makes a little bit more sense.
The most recent reported sighting of the serpent, or one of its offspring, so shut up, Trev, took place in 1962 off the coast of Marshfield, Mass. So much more south. Also, we're talking like North Boston here. Sadly, the author has he speculated that it died.
Well, that makes sense.
Or I guess he thinks that they're all alive, but they're avoiding fishing areas. It's one of those things where the last reported sighting has no information about it at all.
Yeah.
It just says it's lost.
Anyone could have just said, hey, I saw it.
This happens with ghosts and happens with cryptids a lot as well, where someone will be like, oh, this guy saw it, and he even said this. And then like you try and find where that thing came from, and you just
can't.
half of the shit Jeff said, I found no fucking verifiable shit.
Well, you know what? They're counter binking. Like, you know how we say like binking is just like vibes based debunking. They're vibes based confirming.
Bunking, yeah.
They're
It's just
vibes-based continuing to
just feels like-
perpetuate.
you can't do that in any other kind of like way of life, you know? If
Yeah.
you're playing like football, you can't be like, oh yeah, we scored a touchdown. And like, no, you didn't. And like, oh, actually, that guy
Well,
said.
it felt like we did.
Well, you'd be like, oh, I heard a guy said we scored twice. And you'd be like, who was it? He's like, oh, I just heard it from somebody.
Yeah,
like,
some
it's
guy-
like,
some guy
okay, well,
over
you
there.
can't do that. So you're giving it a two. I'm hiccuping all of a sudden.
yeah.
The McDonald's is getting at me.
Oh no.
The Gloucester Sea Serpent is rising around belly.
The second large fry is coming back to
My
haunt
tummy is
you.
like the shores of Cape Ann.
You can't bink that one.
I'm giving it a 1.
Yeah.
I don't
makes
think
sense.
anything's real anymore. I don't think anything's fun. I don't think there's ever been a big snake. It's too big.
Yeah.
How big is a megalodon? That's the one thing we haven't Googled. Google a megalodon. See what the biggest shit was. Just so I can know.
We should at some point do a cryptid megalodon episode.
The megalodon.
Uh,
What do you mean?
It's just us reading the screenplay of
the Meg
Meg.
2. I will say it was a real guy. The megalodon was real, so we can't like.
allegedly.
No, it was like a real animal.
Yeah, so they say.
How big is it?
At least 50 to 60
so
feet.
This thing is not real. This
Possibly up to 80 feet.
serpent, yeah, this serpent is not real. This serpent is double the length of the biggest thing we've ever seen in the ocean.
No,
Well,
blue whales are 100 feet.
Blue whales are 100
yeah,
feet.
but this thing's a killer. This thing's got a horn it stabs people with.
Thing's got an
Wait, but
apex.
do we know it's killed anyone?
No.
It sounds like a friendly little guy.
It's notably not interacted with the humans at all.
Well, it's been
except for that
assaulted.
boat
No,
at
I
the
was-
very beginning.
I was saying, well, I made
It's
that
been
one up.
assaulted multiple times.
To be fair, I made the one up at the beginning for dramatic purposes to scare everybody. Yeah, I mean, it didn't interact with people. If you consider getting shot in the head, interacted. I interacted with the mafia.
If you
before they
believe
threw
the
me in
guy who
ocean.
pinned it to the rocks.
Yeah, it was. Oh, it was a fucking little baby about being pinned to the rocks. So I guess it is possible.
This poor guy is just catching
that man
these
caught a
hands
that man
everywhere.
caught a narwhal and
Yeah,
was like, it's all,
I think that guy caught a snake. I think
Yeah.
he caught a big snake
I do
and got
too.
slapped by it because he was trying to like slapping around. I think he caught a snake and was like,
Yeah.
"Holy shit!"
Or
Because
like
I
a
also
big eel or
I don't think
something
you
like
can
that.
pin a 100-foot
No.
barrel girth creature to the rocks
No.
with a single thing. Like that's so big.
Yeah.
that would yoink you into the all water immediately.
Yes.
I'm thinking about that now. That's unbelievably large.
Yeah.
This thing is too big to be real, guys. I fear.
that's 30 yards long.
It would fill up the entirety of this
It's just-
downstairs.
It's longer than a base path.
Yeah, no, I know. It would fill up all of this downstairs
Yeah.
with body, basically.
If it coiled up, yeah.
No, it would like.
Yeah.
It could cover. It could not coil, but like cover the whole floor of all the way over into the garage area. Like,
Yeah.
Like imagine how, like if you saw it coiled up, it's a barrel size.
yeah.
100 feet long
Yeah.
coiled. That
Yeah.
thing would be
It'd be like a house.
massive.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But
Don't say but. Like you're gonna say
I
something
do
meaningful.
think the existence of the blue whale doesn't necessarily or makes it so it doesn't necessarily need to be impossibly large.
That thing is fat and slow. A blue whale is a big round little guy.
Yeah, they did say this thing moved like
20,
30 miles
How
per
fast?
hour.
How Trev, Google this. How fast is a blue whale?
This is gonna be the Google
No,
episode.
it does feel like it.
not sponsored.
Blue whale
Yeah.
size.
Speed.
DuckDuckGo how
Oh wait,
fast the blue
speed.
whale is.
Sorry, speed.
We know it's 100 feet.
20 to 30 miles per hour.
Maybe they just saw a blue whale.
Yeah.
Are we? They just saw a blue
possible.
whale
from really far away. Because look at
Yeah.
this picture of the blue whale. Look how long and tube-like it is.
Yeah. I mean, I will say also, none of them saw it up close, so them saying it's as wide as a barrel feels like.
Except for
very-
that one guy
Well, yeah, but that
shot
guy.
that shot at
I
him
feel
from
like that-
30
we
yards
don't
away.
even know if he
Did he say
shoot
it's
it.
wide as a barrel? That guy.
We don't even know
'Cause
if
he's
he
the guy
shot
who
it.
should have said it was wide as a
He
barrel.
said he shot it.
I'm gonna find him.
He said it was unaffected by his shot. Maybe he didn't shoot
No,
it.
that's the other guy.
I mean, look how long and tube-like that
Okay.
that blue whale looks.
Imagine you're a guy who's never done anything but
Catch a fish.
been on a boat
Yeah. See,
in
like,
the 1800s.
the guy who held it against the rocks
Yeah.
doesn't describe how wide it is at all.
Yeah,
He just
because
says
he knows he found a snake.
He says it was a weapon of defense. The tail was a weapon of defense, and he struck the end of the handle against a pitchfork, and it sounded like a pin. But he doesn't say how wide it is. Just that he pinned it to the rocks.
Yeah,
He threw his head
well,
around.
that
seized
means
his
that
own
it
body.
was narrow enough for him to pin it to the rock.
Yeah, he might have just found an anaconda. of
He
some
just found a
kind.
snake of some sort.
Yeah, I think that was a snake. So I'm giving this a 1, of course, as well. Any last thoughts about the Gloucester Moucester?
the Gloucester Moucester.
the Gloucester monster, yeah.
Yeah.
Sasha, Malia, after looking at this picture of the blue whale, I'm kind of convinced that it
You're
might
team
be
blue whale.
I'm team blue whale.
I'm Team Narwhal.
Yeah, I think I'm like pot of narwhals type guy. I don't really. I don't think any of these fucking drunkards are to be believed. It
is tough when you start getting to like the 1900s and you're not getting any more stories about it.
Well, if it makes you feel better, we've gotten ghost stories from like 2017, and they're like, anyway, no pictures or anything. I've got a mobile fucking encampment in my pocket that takes pictures and video.
I've got the power of the world in my pocket.
I have a thing in my pocket that will literally take video without being asked to, and I can't fucking pull it out to do this. So it's like I don't think it gets much better. But yeah, these are just like kind of liar fishermen. I think the rocks guy is straight up a liar.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you go to Gloucester out there in the world and you see a giant sea serpent, yank them on land.
Yeah, and
drag 100 feet of body on land.
And make sure you buy something if you need to use the bathroom.
Most people assume they have to. Thank you for listening to this episode of Ghost Binkers.
Thank you.
Don't repeat my fucking shit.
Thank you for telling us about the Gloucester Monster.
Yeah. Thank you, Brett. That's very nice of you. No one's ever thanked me back before in my short time hosting. People are kind of mean. You should follow us on TikTok and Instagram at GhostBankers. Email ghostbankers@gmail.com. You can share a story.
We would love that.
You can argue with us. You can request a story. You can tell us some shit about the sea serpent you saw one day.
Give us your theories.
Yeah, no one's kind of given us a real demented story. So if you got one that's like a little fucked up, that's what I'm looking to hear.
We're looking for
dirty, fucked up
grimy,
just like I want to find the story where you think you got choked by a Bigfoot in the woods. That's what I want, really. You should leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or any other podcasting app if they let you do that.
Yeah.
And you should give us 5 stars because I think if you give less, they kill us.
Actually,
I think Spotify shoots us in the head if you give us 4 stars.
When I go to sleep, there's a gun that hangs over my head, and if anyone gives us less than 5 stars, it does go off.
The podcast Sword of Damocles pops you if you disobey it. You should tell a couple friends and then have them tell a couple friends. And if they do that 7 times, it's all the people on the earth.
And if you cannot be bothered to do any of those things, ghostbankers.com.
Oh yeah, because everything is there. That's not in my copy.
I know.
I have an outdated.
It's old copy.
I have an outdated show plan. Go there. If you can't do any of the other stuff, get a big stick and carve Ghost Bankers into a beach so helicopters see it when they fly by and have to investigate. I'd like to thank the authors of the articles that we talked about. We haven't really made fun of an article in a while because I've been reading old sources for cryptids and none of them are written like a child wrote them that just learned how to read yesterday. Any links to the articles, etc., can be found in the Spooky Specimens, the Ghouly Bites, the Greasy Guys, wherever's down there. That's where things are. Thank you all for coming along, and have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day.
Have an undulatory afternoon.
Is that how we're ending the podcast?
Bye.
Have a blessed day.
I'm not an English guy. English isn't even my first language.
I don't think that's true.
We're planting the seeds
of
lore that maybe
that you're bilingual.
No.
I think you should like talk in Mandarin Chinese one episode to make people be like, oh, maybe Trev speaks Mandarin Chinese, and that's actually why he's so bad at English.
This is Counterfeit Marcus the Worm, the Cryptid again. I warned those stupid, idiotic, bitch-ass, stupid, soulless podcasters to keep my voice out of their mouth. But they must not have gotten the memo. It's all fun and games. Until I bank the Ghost Bankers. Enjoy the rest of Cryptid Month while you can.